Right, when people try to claim all the things you said in Overwatch that are like false or whatever, you lied about it. One of the things they always claim is when you said that you would be fired if you said Harambe. By the way, something I'll go ahead and say, everyone listening to the stream right now, I was in a room where this is actually something that was confirmed by a tournament organizer, that the message was, if you say Harambe in an Overwatch League stream, you will be removed from the stream, and that is literally the precedent that was set and it came down from Blizzard. I can confirm that. Well, the mad thing is, all they did was link to like a thing where Jeff Kaplan made a joke, and they were like, the logic being that him making a joke on some like award show or something means that like everyone's allowed to say it on stream. Like it doesn't even make sense, does it? Like it's not even a coherent like thread of logic to what they're saying.
Jeff Kaplan made one Harambe joke at some fucking talk he did at like South by Southwest or something.
Yes,
like,
something like that.
Yeah, and people go up, see, Richie was making it up. Do you know how many staff members of Blizzard have got on record about this? Like, well, not on record, but come forward and told me this.
Sure.
Independently of each other. Because obviously they've got Winston in the game. He's a giant fucking flying gorilla, isn't he? You know what I mean? At the time, Harambe was a prime meme. So people were fucking saying it. And they just said, like, we can't have Harambe because it's got links to fucking the alt-right or something. Same reason they fucking claim that you can't do an okay... You know, there's a ton of words they're not allowed to say, man. Thanks for the Twitch Prime. Please give a count. Oh, yeah, I know.
Although if you look at it cynically, it's totally obvious as to why. Yep. So if you're not allowed to say things seriously, but you're going to say it as a joke, aren't you? Well, let's just ban that as well. Let's just allow no commentary whatsoever from people who don't like it.
But they actually... I did a video on Harambe. If you want to go look at it on the YouTube channel and see how they tried to spin Harambe as an alt-right meme, you can go look it up. Me and Sam break it down in a 50-minute video. It's insane. The same reason they did Pepe. But anyway, yeah, so Harambe was off. There's a ton. I've got the list somewhere. Someone sent me the list of words that they were told, we cannot say this on a broadcast, and these are the list of the words.
You're talking about Overwatch again.
Yeah, I know.
Like that. Alchemist has reached out, and he keeps telling me to tell you all shit, and I just told him to reach out to you and see if he can come on the show, and because obviously...
You know, you're probably right.
Spent some time embedded in the war of Overwatch League.
Yeah, you're right. I should
probably immediately outs his source, of course.
No, I should probably talk.
You know, we all have many sources.
That's true.
I think
that right.
I think Jason probably publicly tweets most of this. I don't think he gives a fuck. But
no, yeah. No, I mean, like he wanted me to say basically to tell Thorin, Richard, and Sam I love them, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, so he wasn't telling me dish to tell you all. He's like, am I just...
Well, no, you're right though, Scott. He's a good interview subject. I'd like to get him on and fucking just break down the Overwatch League. That'd be good content, I think.
Freelancer again, by the way. So yeah. He might be. Who knows what he'll say, but I think he might message you if he wants.
Here's the reason, guys. If you think Alchemist is acting like some sort of like bitter ex or whatever, right? You don't understand how deep it goes, because when he got fired, first of all, there's no doubt Alchemist was instrumental in trying to get that shit show of a game to a near viewable state. But then what happened was, after he was fired, there was an interview, I think on ESPN, with one of the executives from the broadcast, and he had repeated word for word as to the direction they need to go in for a viewing experience, pretty much all of Alchemist's ideas.
Yeah.
And I made a tweet about it.
If anyone listening to this stream now watched Overwatch League Season 1, one of the things you might have noticed that was actually quite a good, like, coherent thread when you watched the NYXL play is that Alchemist was really good at knowing to put it on the star player, Jonak, but who was the Zenyatta player. And you have to understand that's not actually a character you'd normally focus on a lot, because normally they're actually using, like, defensive tools basically, but because this guy was so exceptional, he was so good at knowing when to go to that. Like, I can already tell you, someone who doesn't know like in esports in depth would have just had it on the Tracer player all the time, basically, or the Widowmaker player, or the most obvious like flashy pop off one. So he actually understood the game and had a philosophy of what he was trying to do. It made there be some storytelling elements to a game which, quite frankly, it's impossible to really tell the story well. Which I will say, in fairness, if you watch a sport like the NFL, also impossible to appreciate what most people are doing within a series in the NFL. That makes sense. But But, you know, compared to other esports, obviously that's one of the best things about games like CSGO. You know, they have a very, very easy sort of learning curve for the viewer. So I did think, yeah, I agree with you. Whether or not they should have kept him, I don't work for Blizzard. I can't really make that call. I don't know what he was asking for, I don't know what the terms were. But I will just say, if I'm looking as an outsider, it's absolutely certain that they took most of the things that were good that he gave them. And now, as you see, he just basically acted as though he was like, you know, a guy who covered a shift in fucking McDonald's.
Yeah.
They did that sort of stuff though, because it's like when we did that E-League event, and it was me, Sliggy, and Alchemist that were doing it, and Imagine as well. A lot of the stuff we wanted to do there basically was like the ideas that me and Sliggy were doing at Face It, and then what Alchemist like implemented into it as well. And we got like a whole system now that worked really fucking nicely, right? Blizzard gave us the way they wanted to do it, and for like a series, we did it the Blizzard way. And universally, everyone complained. Everyone was like, what the fuck's going on with the observing today? Why are they doing like mostly third person? Why have they changed everything? So we were able to go back to the actual way that we wanted to do it, because like they have a very muffled idea of how the game should be presented, and actually like how they think the audience understands it, because it just does not work the way they want to show it. It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, again, this whole third-person stuff, like, obviously you have to mix it, right? But it's like you say, you've got to understand the game and what's happening to be able to tell the story and choose the fucking shots that you're going to use. And Alchemist understood that.
Like, you know, what's it? Who's the Pharah? Like Pharah, right? When she does her ult, they said, oh, wow, doesn't it look really cool when Pharah does her ult if we go into third person and turn the HUD off? We should do that. And they made us do that. And we went, you do realize if we're turning the HUD off, yeah, sure, it looks cinematic.
You can't see the kills.
But the casters have nothing on screen. So the casters were just like, you can't do this. Please never turn the HUD off. And we're like, look, we don't want to. Like, we're being told we have to.
Like, basically, if you notice the running trend here, it's the same with every really big American company I've ever heard of. You just end up with the guy who could actually give you the answers and make things better now is just constantly overruled by some like mad caricature of like the boss out of Dilbert just coming in like, yeah, I'm just going to do all my ideas actually, and then any of your ideas I'm going to take credit for with a corporate, and you're fired. It's like that's actually how big esports can be though.